Hello and welcome to Anto Talks. And my dear friends, we are back with our first episode on data science. So, like I said, this is going to be our first topic, and we are going to try to explore the data science vertical. And I would like to tell you how and what this has helped us with. However, let's just give us a background about this. Now, what's data science? So, data science is the field that involves, the statistical use of computer technology into extracting the statistic science or what we call as insights about the data. How does this help? It has a lot of complexity, not an easy thing that somebody could do just by the right hand. You need to put a lot of efforts, you need to learn a lot. It's not an easy task. So when I speak about this, let me also tell you a short story. So once upon a time there was an organization which served customers, which helped the customers, and which was having a huge customer base. Huge customer base means a huge customer data, what this data was. Now for a person like me, or a person like somebody who doesn't understand what data is, it's nothing. It's just chronological numbers or some figures that is there stored in some excel sheet or some cloud. To make a sense out of this, we require some help. Now who comes here in picture? So we have data scientists, who are basically the best people to work on this data. We also call this data as use cases sometimes. So in the most technical term, these are known as use cases. And what we do with this, so how data science helps us. So data scientists basically use the mathematical and statistical knowledge in order to analyze this data and get an understanding about the pattern of the customer. So they make sense out of this raw data or use case that is being handed over to them. Uh, Count me in, but this is a very, very crucial job, and it is definitely not that easy to acquire. Secondly, it's not an easy task to go through this. So they are the ones who create this wonder of making a meaning out of the data. So I would want to continue about this and tell you the story further, but we have somebody who could explain this in a better and a deep knowledge. So I have Ashutosh Tripathi, who has joined us today as my first guest. Let me give you an introduction about Ashutosh. Ashutosh is a solution architect in my team. So I work with him, not directly, but somehow we work together. And he's a part of my team working as a solution architect for one of our projects. And he's one of the best people I have known for. So he comes from a data science background, and he himself has something as a platform for teaching people data science. And he has his own website, and he has his own vlogs where he teaches people about machine learning. So let's stay tuned and let's hear from Ashutosh what he would like to contribute to us today. Hi Ashutosh, how are you?
Hi, Antonio. Thank you. I'm good, and thanks for inviting me. And yeah,
That's great to see you here. Ashutosh, I just spoke about how a data scientist works, and what is the job, how you make sense out of something that is statistically seen through and driven by you guys. I would like to learn more about this. Now it's all about the past, but we would also not like to know how this helps in my present and how this helps in the future. Now you and I, we are part of a technical background. I'm not totally, but you are an engineer, so you understand this totally, what you can do with the data and how much you can help us, and how this comes into the picture when it is an organization and a consumer who is sitting at home like me, and using the services of a service provider or a product, and knows what exactly that product does. But how to decide on it is something that you guys make changes in it, or you guys suggest on it. Correct me if I'm wrong, is that right?
yes, that's right.
Yeah. So let's just quickly go ahead, and I have few questions for you, and I am sure I hope these questions are something that you can help me with. So let's start with our first question. So I'm going to ask you, explain me how we have, or we can differentiate between the data science, machine learning, deep learning, and artificial intelligence. How you could explain, can you explain me this in a way where a person who is not technical can understand and learn from this?
Yes, Antonio. So I'll try to explain in that aspect only. so that person who is not totally in the technical background, at least not from the data science background, he can understand. I'll try my best.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you.
So yeah. So yeah. So data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence, and deep learning as well. So these are the interconnected words. So they are very much
Hmm.
interconnected with each other, not totally different. So
Hmm.
when we say data science, what it is all about? So data science is like comprised of two words. One is data and one is science. When we apply science on raw data, then it gets converted to information, and that's
Hmm.
where that data become useful to take certain decision for your business, right? So
Okay.
normally when data is produced, so it is very raw, right? So we need to invest a lot of time to understand that data. So as a human, sometime or many time we apply our experience, and from that
Hmm.
experience we get insight from that data and then take business
Hmm.
decision. But what if on top
Hmm.
of that we apply some statistical technologies, statistical methods which are coming from
Hmm.
mathematical background? So if you apply those
Okay.
statistical methods on raw data and then extract the
Hmm.
information insights, then it becomes even more helpful, right? So that's where in this whole process of converting raw data to information is known as data science. Okay, and then from that, if we do little advancement, then it comes becomes machine learning. So that's where
Okay.
when our directly, so see what is machine learning basically. Okay, so machine learning is nothing but when we don't have a mathematical formula to solve a problem, then machine
Okay.
learning can help us there. So, for example, if we think about, let me take one example. So if we think about a table of two, so it is two one the two, two two the four, two three the six, two four the eight, and likewise, right? And now if we put a mathematical equation around this table, it is nothing but y is equal to two times x, right? And now you input x,
Okay.
you think of x as a variable, you input one, two, three, four, and then you get y as output, right? Now,
Okay.
so this is a complete mathematical formula. Any input x, for example, x is equal to 4. So 4 into 2, that is 8. That's perfectly fine. Now, what if
Okay.
think of a problem which cannot be defined or put in exactly a mathematical equation? For example, we have y is equal to x1 plus x2, right? And here,
Okay.
if you just think about this plus operator, and for time being, you
Hmm.
forget this plus as a summation. Okay, this is some operator. Okay,
Okay.
so now you put x1 and x2
Okay.
some two values like 2 plus 4. So normally if you think that as a mathematical operator,
Okay.
then 2 plus 4 is 6. But I am telling it is not 2 plus 4 6, it is 2 plus 4 is equal to 7. So likewise, random number you put and you get some random output, right? So because here this plus is not treated as the exact summation of mathematics, it is something else. Okay, and that's where
Okay.
if I want to know the output of some two random number, for example 7 and that strange plus and then 8. In normal mathematics it will
Okay.
be 15, but here it will
Yes.
not be 15, right? So
Okay.
that's where when mathematical formula is not applied, so we rely on only on pattern, right? So kind
Okay.
of how it is started, so a little bit history. So we whatever output we for whatever two x1 and x2s, we know the output. We plot them in a graph,
Okay.
right? And that's how we
Okay.
get a pattern. So it will be a trend line,
Okay.
something like that. Okay. And then
Hmm.
where that trend line is moving, so we draw a line kind of. Okay. So there is a lot of
Okay.
mathematics here. I cannot go that deeper, but yeah. Okay. So now if we put any two random number on top of that line, and then that line wherever they intersect in that line, and then you
Okay.
project that in y-axis, so that will be the output
Okay.
basically. So what I'm trying to convey here basically, so there is no mathematical formula, we are relying totally on the pattern, and based on that
Hmm.
pattern we are getting the output. So that's how machine learning works basically. So in
Okay.
one liner, when mathematics fails or there is no mathematical formula, that's where machine learning starts. But it's not, it starts
Okay.
like a black box, right? Backend story is mathematics only. So we cannot simply ignore mathematics. Base is mathematics. On top of that, you put some pattern and then it becomes machine learning. Okay,
Okay, so
so
I
that's
can't really deny or defy mathematics is out of the picture once it's machine learning or once it's deep learning. Yeah. Mathematics is the
exactly,
base of this. So I need to have a very
yes,
good arithmetic. I need to know statistics. I
exactly.
need to know algorithms. And I need to focus on algebra very well.
Because
Correct
to
me if
know,
I'm
to
wrong.
reach till, you are absolutely right. To reach till that pattern, the roadmap, the road
Okay.
till that pattern,
Mhm.
that road is mathematics. Okay,
Perfect.
so you have
Perfect.
to
So
go
this
via
answers
math.
my question.
Yeah,
So
yes,
this answers
right.
one of my
And
questions. Uh, yeah, go
okay,
on, go on, go on. I'm not going to stop you. Yeah.
next is no issues. Next is deep learning and AI. Okay, so now
Yes.
we understood what is machine learning. It's nothing but identifying the pattern. Okay, and based on pattern,
Hmm.
projecting or predicting something for future. Next,
Perfect.
when we have like so for example here we I give an example of y is equal to 2x. So x is kind of input
Hmm.
variable. In machine learning we
Hmm.
call them as predictors. Okay, so normal
Okay.
predictors. But here for example we want to predict the house price. So we have different predictors. For example, now you can relate with real example. Okay, so for example, if it is a corner property, what is the size of the property? What is the nearby localities? All those govern the price of that house, right? And based on
Okay.
that, same property can be priced high or low. Okay, so these becomes the
Okay.
factors, predictors. But what if those predictors are not that much straightforward so that human can understand? For example, think about an image, okay, like cat and dog images.
Hmm.
Okay, so as a
Hmm.
human, we identify, okay, this is a cat or this is a dog. But how
Yeah.
machine will understand? It is totally dependent on the features or predictors. Okay, so here
Okay.
what will be the features? If we break the image, so it is nothing but the combination of certain pixels, right? Each
Okay.
pixel,
Pixels.
each pixel, yes, each pixel,
Okay.
pixel, okay,
Okay.
each pixel
Okay.
becomes a feature. So, for example, if you just project that 3D image of cat into 2D plane, then there will be certain area which will be more dense. Or forget about cat and dog. You simply think of a like number two. Okay, you
Okay.
just like think about that two. So in that two, right? So in wherever this line goes, there the pixel density will be more, and rest of the plane pixel density will be very light, right? So that's
Okay.
how we can identify. Okay, this is two, this is three, this is four based on pixel density. Each
Okay.
pixel becomes a feature, and then there are too many pixels, right? If it is a 64 cross 64 grayscale image, then 64 multiplied by 64, right? There are too many features. You can multiply and get the number, right? So that's where when features
Numbers are never
become
ending. They
too
are infinite.
exactly, okay, when features are too huge or too many which human cannot directly understand, then we take help of deep learning. So that's where deep learning comes in place. So,
Okay.
so in a technical word, we say, okay, if feature engineering can be done by some mathematics or as a human, we do mathematics, we do feature engineering, then it is machine learning.
Hmm.
If we automate
Hmm.
or we automate the feature engineering also, then it becomes deep learning, right? So
Okay.
feature engineering can be done within certain layers. So those
Okay.
layers are nothing but the deep layers. So deep learning layers. Okay, so
Okay.
that's where deep learning comes in picture. When like we talk
Okay.
about images, we talk about text, not direct like straightforward features like a tabular column. So until we have
Uh-huh.
tabular data, more or less we go with machine learning. When we have
Okay.
unstructured data like textual images data, then we go with deep learning.
Mhm.
Next comes AI.
Okay.
Okay, so AI is like
This is an
AI
interesting thing.
sim.
I must ask. I'm so sorry to interrupt you. Okay.
No,
So,
no issues.
so AI has a lot of contradictions, theories. People speaking a lot good about it. People speaking a lot bad about it. I'm going to ask that question later. But first, I would like to know what is your understanding when we speak about in an explanative term. How do you explain? How do you differentiate? Now you've helped me out. Know what is data science, what is machine learning, what is deep learning, right? Now it's the part of AI that you can explain me. How can you explain me that what is AI in a normal term? Normal. Make it as
Yeah.
simple as
So,
possible.
yes, I'll try. So AI is like, see, uh, in AI, so suppose you assume there is a AI enabled device, okay, and there is a
Hmm.
human. So
Okay.
if that device can mimic the human brain, then we say this is complete perfect AI driven device. Until now, we
Okay.
have not achieved that phase. So AI, artificial intelligence, here intelligence is like similar to mimicking the human brain. If we
Yeah.
achieve that, then it is a
Okay.
completely AI device. So every day we are reaching one step closer to AI, but we have not reached completely AI. Complete AI we have not still reached. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So
Sounds
in
good.
other
Sounds
words,
good. So,
okay,
in other words, yeah, please.
yeah. So in other words, like in some book definitions, okay. So if you put that device in one room, you put a human in one room, and you ask them 10 questions to both of them. If they are answering the same, then we say that device is AI enabled device. But do you think it is possible, or it
Hmm.
has been possible till today?
Okay.
No, right? So we have not reached to the
Okay.
situation, to the stage where we say, okay, we have achieved AI. No, we are every day reaching one step closer to achieving the AI.
Okay. So we have this, Google Talks. We have this. What's this Amazon device? I understand the
Alexa.
what multiple devices. Alexa. So are they not AI devices? Because I understand when I'm talking to them, they are responding or they're giving me, what I need. Be a matter of, today they are also working on my electronics in the house. So how can they, are they AI or no?
Uh, See, it depends like what is their definition of AI, right?
Okay.
So when we do a project, we define the scope, right? If we limit
Okay.
the scope of AI and within that scope we define or implement a device with certain software features, then we say, okay, within
Hmm.
that scope, this is AI device. So what are the scope of Alexa? You ask
Okay.
certain questions, in revert it will answer, right?
Okay.
So what it is doing basically, so it is understanding your whatever you are speaking to them, kind of
Uh-huh.
uh, audio to text, and then again text
Hmm.
to audio, right? So with
Okay.
that scope, it is AI, but not complete. Complete will be that day when it can mimic the human brain. It can replace the human brain,
Okay.
right? So
Okay.
with that
That's
scope, it is
interesting.
AI device.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Really, really great. So, okay. So we understand now what is the difference between data science, machine learning. We know what is deep learning and what is AI. All four are interconnected. They are at the end of the day all talking about data, raw material, usage of a customer, uh, understanding the pattern of behavior of people, machines, and everything. Right. Uh, but there are many things. Like I said, I'm going to ask this question. I know it's a very controversial question to ask, but it is a must question because many people have asked. I would definitely want to ask this. How do you, as a personal perspective, not just as a, as an engineer who works on AI, I would not, I would like to ask you your personal opinion. How does AI help us? Do you see this as a boon for us, or do you see this as a threat for us for tomorrow, for the future? For example, I'll give you one of the best examples I recently heard about. This is something known as chatbot. Yeah, I just have
Yeah.
to write something, and it goes jumps throughout the world of dictionaries, algorithms, the pages on everywhere in the search engines, and gets me a response within seconds, right? So
Yeah.
if I have to say, this is putting out a lot of people out of job. So is this any AI?
Okay. So I mean, of course, this is an AI. Of course, we have achieved that chatbot with one of the AI techniques. Okay. So coming
Uh-huh.
to your question and with the context of this example which you have given of the chatbot.
Hmm.
Okay. So if you are asking my personal opinion, then of course I would say it all depends on the human, or it all depends
Hmm.
on us how we are using any new technology, right? It can
Okay.
be threat to the community, to the society, to the organization, to the mankind, humankind, or it can be boon as well. It depends how we are taking it. Okay. You think of
Okay.
have you seen a robot movie? Uh,
The
robot
Rajnikant movie.
Rajni, exactly.
Yes, I
A
do.
lot of
Indeed. Who
memes
hasn't
and
seen?
exactly.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah. So there they build a robot, right? Robot,
Mm-hmm.
and then they plan to give it to army for a betterment, for
Mm-hmm.
for the better cause basically. But
Mm-hmm.
suddenly it some villain came and he hacked or whatever. He took that robot and he started using that for wrong reasons, right? For spreading the terror or
Okay.
whatever, right? So that's where it depends, same
Okay.
robot, how you are using, right? One human person, he wanted to give it to army, and another one wanted to
Mm-hmm.
use it to threat to the society, right? So that depends on mankind or
Okay.
humankind how we are thinking about the technology. But coming back to your chatbot example, okay, see, I personally don't see it is replacing the job. Okay. See, we as a human,
Okay.
whatever we can do, no device can do. We can build robot, but robot like AI enabled robot cannot build a human. Vice versa is not true, right?
The
Okay.
wise
So
man's
that
words. True.
yeah. Okay. So that's where right now, whatever routine based job is there, even reception job or any routine based job, that can be replaced with that robot. But the moment it is replacing, it is giving some message also. You have to learn something new. You are not there to do the routine work. You are there to build
Okay.
something new. You learn something new and then build some advanced robots, some advanced technique. As a human, you can do
Okay.
anything, but that robot can do that routine job, and he cannot complain also,
So
right? So
it's a very
you are
simple thing.
there to do
Yeah.
something else,
Okay. So I am
right?
there. I have endless possibilities of learning, doing things on my own, and having upskilling myself and doing things differently. Wherein a
Exactly.
machine will have a pattern. It will have a limitation as much as I could give it as a knowledge and what I can share with it. Right?
Yes, right. Perfect. So we are the God's
Perfect.
creature. We can do anything, right? We are not limited to any routine work, and that's how we have to think. We should not think we are replaced by a robot,
No,
right?
absolutely. That gives me
So
a
I
right
hope I
answer.
answered your
Thank you
question.
so much, Ashutosh, for absolutely you did. You did. You made it very clear for me how to understand this. But there are further four questions, and let's take a short break off, and we'll be back. Okay. Okay, so welcome back to Antos Talks, and thank you so much, Ashutosh, for such a quick break and a brief of discussion about, explaining us how the machine learning works, how AI works, how it is going to be good, and how we are not to be threatened by AI. So there are more questions, as you know, it's not there are never-ending questions about data science, and there are a few things that I would definitely want to know, or let my viewers know and your viewers know how we can help them in the future. So, how about you let me know what is the future of artificial intelligence?
Okay. So what I would say, data, until we are getting new and new data, until there is a
Hmm.
freeze on data, there won't be
Hmm.
any stop on AI. Okay? Because data is the backbone of AI, and now you see in last decade or last 10 years, so we see a lot of data is getting even the rate is double, triple, right? So and that is the also main reason why there is more focus now in AI. It's not that we have the technique available only now. Technique was available even in 80s back, right? That time
Okay, so
also,
it
but
comes
that
back
time
from
we
there,
have
yeah.
exactly, right?
Okay.
So, but at that time we had very less data. So data volume was not
Hmm.
that vast. Even the computational power was not that much that time in 80s,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So
Yeah,
that's
that's true.
where
That's true.
now exactly. So that's where today we have both lot of data and a lot of computational power exists. So that's where we are in a very good phase to utilize all the AI capabilities. And now, if we talk about the future, so the
Mm-hmm.
moment the phase we are getting new data, and there is advancement in data, there is change in data, AI will exist.
Mm-hmm.
And if we talk about the career perspective, so if anybody is thinking like the career perspective, what is the career in upcoming years with respect to AI? So it's gonna be
Okay.
boom basically. So it will stay,
Okay.
and it will still be in in top few cutting edge technologies. Of course, like quantum computing is coming. A lot of people are researching that area, and
Mm-hmm.
virtual AI. A lot of new technologies is coming, but still AI will not be phased out soon. It will stay at least next decade as it is now. But of course, there will be
Okay.
saturation, but not in next decade at least. Yeah.
So it's almost about what we are in the fourth decade. So 80s, 90s, 20s, and 21st century. So we are already almost in a fourth decade of artificial intelligence. And what we are looking at, it's going to survive for another decade or probably furthermore. It depends of totally how the technological advancement is utilized in the better way. So if you say so,
You can,
okay, this is how it
yes,
works.
exactly. Sorry to interrupt, but one more thing. You can relate it like, see,
Yes.
nowadays everybody is using, the rate how we are clicking the pictures, the selfies,
Hmm.
right? How
Yeah.
quickly we are tweeting, right, in Twitter or any other platform. Like,
So click and post,
the,
click and
like,
post. Yeah, that keeps on
exactly. We are
happening. Yeah,
also
the
recording the
Instagram, the
podcast.
Twitter is everywhere. Yes, my
Exactly.
WhatsApp
Every
itself.
day,
Yeah, I'm still live recording it and throwing in every content that I can. So it's not going to stop. So this is an outcome of AI.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we are generating
Okay.
new data, and then the
Okay.
moment new data is there, we need to apply AI on top of that. So AI will exist.
So
Very
in
good
short,
future.
you could say that I am creating a use case. Yeah, I'm creating a use case
Exactly.
for
Yes.
somebody to use tomorrow. It could be so. Let's just continue with this. Yeah, it's getting more interesting for me now. So, is there an industry which is getting impacted, and uh, would it be like let me say, I would not want to ask the adverse effects of it, but I would want to ask the benefit effect of this. So, how is AI impacting the industries? Which industry is this, and which industry is making the best out of this, or who is going to or will be benefiting the best out of this?
Yeah. So, it's not any specific industry which will benefit the
Hmm.
most out of AI. I would say, I would say, like if any industry which is not going with AI, which is not
Okay.
utilizing the capabilities of AI, okay,
Okay.
then it will lack in some or other thing, right? So, see, there are traditional ways of doing something, there are technological
Uh-huh.
ways of doing something, right? So we should
Yes,
always have a
absolutely.
balance. It's not only one thing is better than other, right?
Yeah,
So
that's true.
that's where if any industry is not utilizing, then they will be lacking something. So they have to utilize AI today
Okay.
or tomorrow. They will do it. Okay. And in
Okay.
other words, where AI will have more impact, so the industry which is generating more data. For example, if you just think about Google, right? So
Okay.
anything we want to know, we just go to Google search, right? So
Absolutely.
we
Yeah.
just type
I'm giving data and
something.
taking data from information from them. That's true.
Exactly, right? So that's where if you think about the Google, so one more thing came in my mind. See, there are two. One is producer, one is consumer, right? So there
Hmm.
are certain companies who are only consuming the AI technique, and there are certain companies which are releasing or producing new algorithms. They are training the model and then
Okay.
releasing for certain other companies to consume that model. So
Okay.
Google is one which is both. So Google has a lot of data, so that's where it is able to train new models and simultaneously I'm taking one use case. There are many basically to improve the search results. It is again utilizing those AI techniques as well, right?
So that's
So,
like a
so that's
never-ending
where,
story for them. Yeah. Creating,
exactly. So in one
utilizing use
liner,
cases, creating news AI, then another one, then another one. So every user is a use case. Every user gets a AI in order to understand his usage. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
So one of such instances, I guess I might have created an instance where I'm constantly searching from some about some vehicles on Google. Yeah, and I suddenly see many suggestions. So after I have closed this page, it still reappears as a more search thing. So the first thing it would show me is what I have searched previously. So yeah, I guess
Exactly.
this is how it works. So search engines are one of those who are benefiting out of this, and definitely it would also be somebody, who is going to give me information. And that, I guess it's just rhetorical that we have to just accept the fact that we are the use cases for many of the industries. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's go to the next question. And what are the typical cases, or you could say typical use cases of artificial intelligence in telecom industry? You and I belong to the same industry. You know how it
Exactly.
works, right? So the
Yeah.
biggest consumer base is telecom, right? It's not an internet base. It's not about retail market, commercial market, or anything at all. It is actually telecom, which has been there since it was invented. I understand. So, do you think this they have the biggest use case?
Okay. So, like any other industry, so telecom also has a very specific use cases of AI. In fact, many.
Mhm.
So, if I just give very basic example, okay. So, for any company, any organization to succeed,
Uh-huh.
what is the bare minimum criteria, or what is the main criteria? It's customer satisfaction, right?
Absolutely.
So, any
Yes.
company which want to be successful, he has to focus on customer. Right? Customer is kind of my God, right? So with that motto, he has to proceed. Exactly. Okay. So yes. So how we can improve, how we can better the customer experience, and now comes to telecom domain. In telecom, what
Okay.
happens? They mainly relate with the network signal, right? If
Uh-huh.
signal strength is not that good, so suppose I am using Airtel or I am using any particular network, right? And if that signal is not good, it is dropping. Okay, then
Hmm.
sooner or later we'll move to some other better network, right? My customer
Well, I guess
experience is impacting. Yeah.
we all did that because many of the places that got
Yes.
shut down.
Yeah.
So there was a merger between Vodafone and Airtel. There was like a huge duration when the whole network was lost, and I guess the majority of the network who made out of this was actually Reliance and
Yeah.
Airtel. I guess they made the best out of this. Now they have a bigger customer base than they had because both these vendors, it's Vodafone and Idea, they merged and they lost the network and there was no services. So I guess, yeah, Geo and Airtel made the
Yes.
best out of this situation.
Yes. So network or signal strength optimization, that is one very like impact use case for telecom industries. Apart from
That's
that,
true.
there are radio signals, so their parameters can be optimized. For example, there are many base stations. So from there, and the network has to travel, data has to travel to the end user, to the connected devices, right? And on the way there are many parameters which affects the
Yeah.
capacity or bandwidth, right? So how we can optimize the signal strength, or how we can send maximum possible amount of data per spectrum per unit of time, right? So there are certain
Okay.
parameters. If we can optimize those, then we can have better signal strength or better radio signal. So that's where also we
Okay.
can apply machine learning or AI. Another typical use case could be SIM. Again, we have base stations or we have network devices
Yeah.
installed at the field, right? And then some fault
Yes.
occurs, right? So there could be predictive maintenance. Before fault occurs, we should know, okay, there is going to be a fault, and so that we can take early action. So that is one use case.
So precautions as like if I have predicted it, there's going to be a repair work done. I have to make sure that I have either notified my customer, or I am making
Yeah,
sure there is a bandwidth change, or I'm routing the network through some other tower so that this
exactly.
does not impact my customer. So this is also one of the use cases, yeah,
Yes,
in
predictive
telecom industry.
maintenance. Yes, yes. Right. So there
Absolutely.
are
Now that's isn't that
many, many
beautiful?
use cases. Yeah.
That's beautiful, isn't it? Like AI works in a very different way. Yeah, artificial intelligence helping me make sure that my business runs smoother. It doesn't
Yeah,
so the my
exactly.
user doesn't get impacted. So yeah, I guess this is a better work, right? I guess in a human tendency, I might not be able to really predict. I can plan it but can't predict it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good thing to do. So let's go
There
to
are
the next
certain
question, I guess.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I
okay,
was
go on.
telling
Okay, there's more to come.
yeah, there are certain parameters based on that we can even predict. Okay, so there is a network failure,
Okay,
there is a device failure going to occur, so that we can take
okay,
actions needed to like fix those things in advance, so that the moment it goes failed, then we have immediate replacement for that, so that later things are not affected with little or zero downtime. So that's the
okay.
outcome we want to achieve using AI. So that we can achieve basically.
That's possible. Yeah.
Yes.
What more can I say? AI working in a better way. Well, I guess so far it's just come as a betterment. Yeah. So it's been proven as a boon. We can't say it's a threat to us. It is
That's where
helping
I
us.
said in that question. It's us how we take this, right?
Yes,
We
absolutely,
how we see
absolutely. I
this.
guess you're giving the best out of it. You're giving me a really good reason for me to support AI. Yeah. For me, it's very easy to hear someone or to listen to someone, and to get influenced. It's very easy. Humans have a tendency to be influenced when it's been said by somebody powerful, right? But if somebody is working in an AI, they understand it far better than somebody who's just heard about it or read about it. So I guess it's the best thing to do is to listen from the expert. So let's continue with this question, and I would want to ask the next thing to you is, we see a lot of automation, right? I guess we've seen automation in the machines, we've seen automation in computers, we've seen automation in mechanical industries, the cars, many things are automated, right? So do you think machine learning can be fully automated? Is it possible?
Okay. So in one word answer, no, it cannot be fully automated. Okay.
Okay,
But when we hear,
partially.
okay, there is a uh, uh, then we have to define again what partially means, what we are automating.
Okay,
Exactly right. So there should be a definition. So let me define this. So I mean, in machine learning, what happens? There is no, of course, there are rule-based learning and there is a dynamism as well.
hmm,
Okay. So
hmm,
what we automate basically, if there are certain predefined rules, we have to follow exactly those rules
hmm.
to reach a certain outcome, then of course we can automate
Okay,
whole thing starting till end. Okay. But if there are a lot of variations, okay, and those
okay,
variations are also not fixed, they are on the fly, okay, then those things that are difficult to automate. For example, let me give one example. Okay, we want to solve a particular problem, and in that problem we are utilizing the average age of the employees in a particular company. Okay, and suppose there is a company
okay,
A and their employees average age is maybe 30. Okay, and now with that
okay,
average age we made a formula and we came to one particular outcome. Okay, just assume some outcome.
okay.
Now, 2 years down the line, maybe not 2 year, maybe 1 year down the line, okay, we had some more candidates and some even resigned. Okay, then that average
Yeah,
age got
absolutely. That's
changed.
going to be there.
Exactly, right? Average age got changed. And now, do you think that formula will still work? That time average age was 30. Now average age might be 35 or 25, whatever you can right, take.
Well, I guess
So let's
if
say
you've configured
25.
it accordingly, yeah, if you've configured it accordingly, then it is definitely possible that it is going to be impacted, or it's going to change the way of the outcome or the results of the production expectancy or the predictive nature that we had set it up. So yes, it's going to change. It's not going to remain the same. Then I
Right?
guess it's going to be a rework. That means machine learning is not possible to be automated fully.
Not cannot be fully automated. Right. So this is a very basic example. You
Absolutely.
can also debate. Okay, we can have a pre-pipeline which will like input the average age the moment it got changed. That is also a debate, right? But I took this very basic example to explain. Okay. So
I
in
I guess
more
you've
like
given the
concrete,
you can't call it a basic example. You can call it the best example, I would say, in the industry, because employees are in and out. Uh, uh, that if we could predict, okay, who's gonna be impacted, what they are thinking, that's a different part of it. But definitely, you can't have all your 100% employees be on board for the whole time. It's not possible. Humanly, it's not possible because today everybody wants to change. They want something new. They want some more money, uh, and we have to function, right? We can't be dependent 100% on that human being or for that employee to continue with us and to deliver. So we have to look at changes. We have to be ready for changes. So yes, I guess it is one of the outcomes that we should always be ready for.
exactly. So just one more thing. So the moment we have variations on the data, and those
Hmm.
variations cannot always be prejudged. If those cannot be prejudged, so we cannot put those things in the formula. And if we cannot put those things in the formula, then we cannot obviously not automate. We cannot automate, right?
Okay, so
So
very
that's the
simple,
thing.
simple and clean, neat statement. What can be automated is something which has a uniform outcome or uniform process. It
Yes,
cannot be implied or applied with a human nature or behavior.
exactly. So machine learning cannot be
Okay,
fully
thank
automated.
you. All right, lovely. So let's go to the next one. How do you speak about automation versus machine learning? How do you differentiate this?
I think this is the same thing it would be. So like if there are variations, we cannot automate, and if there are some
Hmm.
fixed outcomes, fixed things, so fixed steps to achieve something, then we can automate.
Hmm.
So of course, automation
Okay.
and machine learning are two totally different things. And one more thing
Yeah.
here I would like to add basically, people get confused here. So what happens, if you know or anybody from data science background, he's hearing our podcast, then he might say, okay, there is
Mhm.
auto ML from Google. Okay. So
Yeah.
in auto ML, they're automating the ML. So basically they are not automating the ML, but they have some set of algorithms in backend, and in the runtime, they are automatically selecting which algorithm will be best suited for this particular problem. Or backend, they are trying
Hmm.
different algorithms and setting up different hyperparameters, and then coming up with the optimized set of parameters for that particular problem. So that's what they are doing. And when I say machine learning cannot be automated, you cannot come up with different algorithms automatically, right? It has to be gone
Yeah.
through certain set of steps for a particular problem, right? So there are two different things basically. Auto ML is just like
Yeah.
kind of selecting from pre-existing set of algorithms. Right? So
Yeah. so
that's
so i
the
i,
way
ha- I
different.
probably to be more on closer interaction to these two is that automation is where there are set number of things we already have, and machine learning is where they're trying to work out on already things that they have in their backend. They already have these algorithms saved somewhere, and they're just trying and testing, deploying, trying, testing, deploying, in order to see if this machine learning is working as an automation. But eventually it's not, because it's a human who is working continuously on the algorithms. Keep it updated, keep it checked, have the changes done, test it again, deploy it, and see if it is working fine. So it's not exactly the automation of machine learning.
Exactly.
Okay, I have human there as well. Okay, 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 I get this. So now let's ask, probably this might be the same question, but I want to ask it differently. Like, what is the basic prerequisite to learn machine learning and artificial intelligence? What should I know? Okay, if I want to learn it, let's suppose, in a I come from non-technical background, but I understand how humans are. So I can read humans, but I can't read machine, right? So what should I know? in order to learn machine learning and artificial intelligence, like together, not the opposite side.
Sure. Okay. So here again, we have to define our objective. So what is our objective when we say we want to learn machine learning or AI? Okay.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
when I say objective, it means like you just want to understand the terminology so that you can easily communicate with a data scientist or technical person from data science background, so that you both are on the same page. Okay. So that
Okay.
objective is different. For that, you
Okay.
just need to go through some basic concepts and more likely how it works, very high level. Okay. So that is one thing. Another thing is like if you want to get a job quickly and start working. Okay. And for that, what you need, what prerequisite you need to have a Python understand. I mean, I'm saying very specific to Python, but if you have background from any programming language, then of course switching to Python or R, because in machine learning, these two are the mostly used one. Okay. So it's not a problem. So having a programming background is necessary. And then of course,
Okay.
on top of that, if you are from programming background, then you can easily know like how to use the libraries. And then if you know that, then you can start working on the machine learning from day one itself. Okay, you just need to know how to use the libraries, because see, to train a model, there are different frameworks in machine learning like scikit-learn, TensorFlow, PyTorch. You just in one line import that one and then start using the functions which are inside those libraries or frameworks. Okay, so that is the
Okay.
second objective. You just want to start working from day one, or you have very less time. Okay.
Okay.
Third thing,
Okay.
if you really want to gain knowledge on this field, okay, so you want to really go deep and you really feel good, or you know these things, you want to publish some paper, you want to go on research site, okay. So that's where
Yeah.
I say, okay, you need to have a understanding from mathematics. And when I say mathematics, then there are certain specific topics, for example, algebra and calculus, because a lot of algorithms
Okay.
are dependent on that derivatives concept on calculus. And then, of course, that differentiation of and that maximum, minimum, and all those things. Okay. And then a lot of concepts come from algebra as well. So these two mathematics are very necessary. And then on top of that, programming language. No, so before that, you need to also have a knowledge of statistics, from our academic, whatever statistics we study, same statistics, but you need to relate with real example. So for example, we have studied what is mean, what is median, what is mode. Okay. And we know the
Okay.
mathematical formula, but do we really know when exactly we need to apply mean, and when exactly we need to apply median? Though both tells the central tendency of the data, right? Mean is also average,
I'll be
median is
very
also average.
I'll be honest with you, okay? So probably I was one of the most dumbest kid when it comes to mathematics. Okay, I probably have passed my mathematics in a very bad score, and yeah, true. Mean median mode is something that can ring the bell, but not exactly when I need to apply. I wouldn't know where exactly to go. So it's very clear, in order to
Exactly.
learn machine learning and AI, I have to be really up to the mark when it comes to
You need
mathematics,
to know the
statistics.
concept and feel the concept, like how
Okay.
and when to apply a particular concept in a particular problem. Because until you don't know, you don't have that understanding, you cannot bring insight from data, right? You don't know. We have to apply mean or median. How you will, right? You will apply one of them blindly, right? And you will get certain results. So
Probably,
that's what
probably
happens.
if I start with data science and I start machine learning, I might crash the whole setup. This is how it's going to be. But yes, I would definitely want to learn whatever it's there. But to be very honest, if I have to understand, machine learning is actually playing a real huge part in our life. AI
Yes,
is working for us. We are making it work for us. That's for true. So it is important that we make sure that the basic requisite is to learn. You be guys, just pay attention, okay? You have to be good in maths.
yes.
Forget the
To be
rest.
good
You
in
have to be
math.
good in maths. If your maths is bad, please don't give up. Start working on
Yes,
it. That's how it's going to help us. That's the future. Maths is future. All
yes.
right. So I guess
And
this answers my question, Ashutosh. Thank you so much. Then I have only last question for you. Well, I guess uh, sometimes it might have come to an interview as well. Somebody must have asked you, somebody who's working in a different domain. I have a lot of people working as developers. They have front end, back end, and full stack developers. We have some DevOps engineers. We have somebody who's working into other domains. uh, Data engineering is one of those. And people are really keen to learn on artificial intelligence, and they would want to move to this domain. Like one of the prerequisites you told me, uh, to know maths, very important. Your mathematics has to be strong in this. You're a genius, definitely, we can't deny that fact. uh, One, if I want to switch, okay, I am not a mathematics person, or I'm not yet. Probably I'm going to put in my efforts, don't worry. I'll put in my efforts. Can you tell me, if I want to switch to AI domain, what should I do?
exactly. So as I defined the objectives in my in your previous question, right? What are the prerequisites?
Yes.
So here
Yes.
objective is like I want to switch to data science domain, right? I'm switching my
Yes.
career. So that's why like when I'm working, so I have less time to go through all in deep learning basically. Deep learning is not that machine learning one. Deep learning of any in-depth learning of the concept. Okay. So
True.
there you have very less time to go that deeper for any concept. So that's where I say you just focus on Python, specifically to Python, because Python is on more demand compared to R. Of course, there are reasoning when to use R, when to use Python. I'm not going there. Okay, but I would suggest
Hmm.
you start with Python. Just brush up your concepts on
Okay.
Python, and then
Okay.
start you building certain models. Pick up one machine learning framework, that is scikit-learn, and
Okay.
take help of some YouTube videos or some blogs. They have clearly explained, very easily explained, like how to build the model. Just try to build one or two
Okay.
models, and then
Hmm.
these are the some set of defined steps in every model building will be used for
Okay.
scikit-learn. Okay, and then pick another problem and try to replicate same without looking into that reference doc, and that's how you will gain confidence. At least the you will know the steps from step 1 to step n, whatever used in machine learning life cycle. Okay, you will be familiar with that one, because the moment you use the machine learning framework, for example scikit-learn, so all the mathematics, everything is bundled and packaged, and you just need to call that function. You don't need to worry about that math up to this
Yeah.
stage. So you can start
Okay.
using and you can start building the model. Okay. Once you are up to here, you can easily, of course, you can easily start working on machine learning. But again, once you reach here, you want to again go deeper into the concept. Then pick
Yeah.
mathematics and start learning those concepts, calculus, algebra, and then statistics. Okay, so that slowly you can be more good on those concepts. But for starting that machine learning framework and Python, that is enough. And I'm assuming you are coming from data engineer background, then you already know those SQL and all those concepts. But if not, then of course you need to learn the SQL as well, because that is a very that becomes very handy when it comes to data manipulation and data extraction from database.
Okay.
So that SQL query, that is also
Okay.
very important. So that's how basically you
Well,
can
that's
start. You can
that's
switch.
so let's just sum it up, okay? So you have to make sure you put in the effort. So guys, it's about your future. I only helped you to know what we can do in the future. So learning about data science, what's there in the future for you, you have to make sure you're learning. Learning is the key to every success. So make sure you keep learning. Stay tuned with us. We are going to come soon with next topic. Ashutosh, I'm really thank you for being a part of this particular first episode of mine. I really appreciate that, guys. You can follow Ashutosh on his channel, where you could learn more about machine learning, artificial intelligence, data science, and data intelligence. So the link is at the bottom. Please go ahead and click and watch his YouTube channel, and I guess he has more channels from there. You can subscribe to him, keep learning from him. Thank you so much for joining us today. Have a great time and stay tuned. Bye, guys.
Yep. Thanks, Antonio. Bye, guys.